What's going on, everybody? C4 here today, bringing a quick update on a big breaking news story. Adrian Peterson has signed, or is about to sign, with the New Orleans Saints on a $3 million per year deal. It's looking like it's probably going to be 2 years with incentives, but what does this mean? This is really one of the last big pieces that needs to fall during free agency. Look at the remaining available free agents. I'm seeing, there's a couple linebackers, Perry Riley, Gerald Hodges. I mean, on the offensive side of the ball, AP is pretty much the last big name, depending on what kind of value you really put in a Jamal Charles. But I think, looking at the Saints, clearly this is the piece that they need to win. Surely it's not nothing on the defensive side of the ball. They need to bring in a running back to compete with Mark Ingram, right? No, but in all seriousness, it's a solid move, man. That's a good two-headed running back attack. Terrible for fantasy owners that want to draft either Adrian Peterson or Mark Ingram. But I think in terms of really completing that Saints offense, they did use Tim Hightower fairly heavily last year. It wasn't all the Mark Ingram show for the Saints. And now that they lost him, I think he has gone to the 49ers. Bringing in like an AP, that's a big-time upgrade for a team that shows that, in that Pete Carmichael, Sean Payton offense, they want to have two running backs, and they want to use those two running backs. And, I think Mark Ingram's still probably young enough that he can learn a thing or two from a veteran like Adrian Peterson, who, in my opinion, is the best running back from this generation. And it isn't even close. They got a decent enough offensive line there. Maybe they can add a piece in free agency. There's still a couple offensive linemen there. But maybe they add a piece in the draft. Come on, not free agency. But in the draft, their first two picks, now they 100%. They should just go defense. I made a video before talking, maybe they want to get a wide receiver to recoup what they lost in the Brandon Cooks trade, which is the dumbest deal I've ever seen in my life. I get they wanted to get rid of Brandon Cooks. I get he was a disgruntled wide receiver, get some value for him, but trading him to the Patriots, like this Adrian Peterson move shows to me that this organization wants to win now. So why would you give debatably your best wide receiver, Michael Thomas is a beast, but debatably your best wide receiver, to a team that you project that you're probably got to beat to win that Super Bowl? Makes no sense to me. But the Adrian Peterson move, it's a good spot for AP. It's going to be exciting. The Saints always have a very good offense, so it's going to be it's very interesting how Sean Payton is going to want to use an Adrian Peterson. But fantasy owners, it sucks. It sucks for fantasy owners. AP could have went to a place where he's going to be the clear starter. Now it has some murkiness, not only over AP, but Mark Ingram. But both are still going to be fairly draftable, I believe. But maybe knock a round or two off both of their names. But let me know what you guys think about Adrian Peterson going to the Saints. At least he found a home. It would have been terrible if AP went, any length of time without being on the football field. We already missed AP 2 years pretty much throughout his career. The ACL year and the whole how he disciplines his kid year. And, rather AP wait it out and wait for a playoff contender to maybe a running back goes down and then he signs for a team mid-season. At least we get AP from the very beginning in New Orleans. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about it. Do you think it's a good move? Do you think it's a bad move? Who knows? And you may notice, I'm going to leave it at the end of this. The track behind this. This is a 5-star Saints theme. He hit me up on Facebook, said use this for all your Saints videos. We're going to use it, feature it heavily in the Saints draft videos. They have 2 first-round picks, so we'll see that on draft day. But for a lot of my Saints videos, shout out to him for giving me the background. Check out his Twitter. All that stuff is in the link in the description. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, it's C4 saying peace out.
Don't stop, boy. We trying to win the Super Bowl. We rock and roll, rock and roll. Touchdown, go Saints. We gonna do it some more. We rock and roll, rock and roll. Touchdown.